Good morning, everyone. Happy Monday. I am so excited to dive into this training with you today. So, if you are just joining me, I'm just getting situated here. And I was actually laughing at myself because I'm thinking, okay, a couple months from now, I'm not going to be able to wear white. I'm probably not going to look like this put together because I'm probably going to have a newborn baby that is like throwing up on me, and I'm not going to have enough time to do my hair or makeup or all those things. So I am just like, I looked at myself in the mirror before I came on and I'm like, yeah, this probably is not going to happen moving forward, but that's okay. So I am really looking forward to this training today because I know that I get so many questions about marketing and sales. And so we're going to dive deep into, I'm calling it 5 higher perspective principles to skyrocket sales. So I am just really looking forward to channeling some new things today. I feel like God is always giving me so many new amazing downloads, and I see some people joining here. Let me know in the comments that you're here with me. If you go to the top of the broadcast and click on that Ecamm Live link, and you grant Ecamm Live permission to let me know that you're here, we can interact. You can ask questions. I am here with you. Let's get started. I think you're live in your stories and not your wall. All right, let's check this out. Monetize your magic. No, I'm live in Monetize Your Magic. We're good. Hi, Facebook user. I can't see who you are, but I was like laughing at myself. If you go back to the beginning of when I first popped on, I was like, I am not going to be able to wear white probably for a while, because I'm going to have this child, and I'm sure there's going to be like spit up and all sorts of fluids. So I'm wearing white right now too, because I know I won't be able to wear it in the future. And I'm probably not going to look like this put together, but that's okay because who cares? It's really about the content, right? Okay. So, yes, please make sure that you are asking questions. I'm here with you. I also wanted to just say before we start this, I was making my coffee before and this came through. As we go through this training, I want to just offer you compassion and grace and just be really nice and gentle to yourself, because it's so easy, especially as high achievers. We're like, oh, I'm doing this wrong and I'm not doing this right. And the marketing and the sales, and I don't know how to market. There are so many of these beliefs that can come through. And so if that's what you've been experiencing, if you have that harsh inner critic, we're actually going to be talking about that next week with Kate Cozart on the Healers in Healthcare show. I wanted to just offer you that there is zero judgment on my end. I have done so many things wrong in my business over the years. And because I have hired coaches and gotten training and done all of the things, made tons of mistakes, my intention here is not to criticize, it's to uplift you, to let you know that there are little minor tweaks that you can do in your business that will absolutely catapult your results. And so that's the perspective I'm coming from. So I don't want you to come into this and be like, I'm doing this wrong, I'm doing that wrong. No, we're not picking we're not picking your business apart here. We're actually just bringing to your awareness these different aspects that can really help hone your message so that when you're putting your frequency, your energy out there, that you are reaching that soul client with your solution. I'm going to be corny Christina this morning with you. So if you follow me on Instagram, I just posted that. I have to post that in the group too. It came through as a download. When you're reaching your soul client, you're really sharing your solution or the transformational medicine that you have to offer this client that only you can offer. So just wanted to say that first and foremost, that we are here and you are in a safe environment of non-judgment. We are just exploring and trying new things on, just like you would try on a new sweater and be like, hey, do I like this? Does this work? And if not, disregard it. So as with any training that I do, take what fits in your business and leave the rest. I will not be offended. Okay, so let's get started. What I would recommend is to have some water, a pen and paper. Please comment, engage with me, tell me what you're excited about this morning. I am looking forward to a delicious Thanksgiving dinner on Thursday. I'm so excited for that. Let me know like what your favorite thing to eat is for Thanksgiving. Let's, get the juices flowing, the everything moving. Our communication today, and don't be afraid to put anything in that chat. So if you have questions, if you're like, hey, I love stuffing, I love turkey, whatever that is, let me know, because that's what makes this fun and engaging. So, okay. I'm not sure how long this is going to be. I'm thinking maybe 45 minutes to an hour. So just to give your brain some context for how long this is going to be. If you have to pop off, that's okay. You can always come back and watch the replay. Okay. So let's get started. What you're probably saying right now is you are saying to yourself, okay, I'm a business owner. How do I get more clients? How do I attract more clients that will pay me abundantly for my gifts, that I can serve with the solution that I have? Maybe you've gone through a specific transformation, or you've taken other people through transformation and you have a servant heart. I know all of you in this group, I know pharmacists especially, because that's why we got into pharmacy. It's to help people. And I know that you have that servant heart to help people heal, to minimize medications. A lot of you are holistic healers, or you want to grow a functional medicine business, whatever that is. That's what we're going to really be diving into today. How to help you hone that message, hone your energy. So like I said, when you put that frequency out there in your messaging, in your offers, it's magnetic to your soul client. So right now you're saying, okay, how do I attract more clients? And you may be thinking, these are common beliefs, and I have my notes over here. So if you see me glance, that's what I'm doing. You might be thinking, okay, I just need to post more consistently. I just need to share more on social media. I just need to work hard, right? We have that mentality, and I was raised that way too, that old school Italian, like you have to work really hard to get anything you want in life. So I just have to work harder on my business, spend more hours, but I don't have enough time because I'm working a full-time job, or whatever that situation might be for you. You might be thinking, okay, I have to educate my audience because that's how people are going to know that I'm, smart enough, good enough, whatever enough, so that they're going to hire me. That's a common belief that I hear. Or maybe you're just like, I don't want to do any of this. I just need to hire like a business or branding or marketing person to do it for me. So there are all of these different beliefs that we have around marketing and sales, or I've even heard people say, like, I'm not good at this, and they like immediately push away. I want you to know, I want you to own this right now with me. You have everything within you. You have the gifts, you have the knowledge, the stories, the experience. And even though we weren't taught marketing and sales in school, even if you don't have an MBA, I promise you, you have it within you to do this. So let's throw that belief out right now. Oh, I'm not good at marketing and sales. Nope. We're not even plugging into that belief anymore. So that's the first shift we're moving through today. It's allowed to be easier. And what I find is that most people are thinking those things like, oh, well, I just need to find the right strategy, or I just need to like hack the Facebook algorithm. And we're thinking from our mind, right? Well, how do I get more clients? What do I have to do? And we're not plugged into the embodiment of how we're actually showing up in our business. And by that, I mean the energy that is lacing your business is dictating your results. So, I always come from the energetic perspective, and I pair that with the practical. What does this actually look like? So I actually gave some specific examples here of what do I mean by energy. So your energy is your survival patterns. So people pleasing, perfectionism, fear of being seen, overthinking. These are nervous system responses to the overthinking, perfectionism, getting into freeze where we feel like we can't move forward because we're so in our head. Should I do this? Should I do that? The black and white thinking can be a nervous system response, or depending on where you go in in response to like a trigger or, your past patterning, you can either go to fight, flight, or freeze. So some people go to more shutdown and they hide and they kind of withdraw into themselves. There's nothing wrong with any of these responses. This is your body trying to protect itself, right? And again, going back to what I said in the beginning, all of this makes sense based upon the past experiences that you've had, right? We've all had trauma in different formats. It could be, COVID was traumatic for a lot of us. You don't necessarily have to have had abuse or trauma that was like, groundbreaking. It could have been bullying. It could have been you spoke up in class and someone made fun of you and said, oh, you think you're smart, so you dimmed your light. I always use this example of, this little baby inside of me right now it's like a diamond. It's bright, it's shiny, it's going to come into this world with all of its gifts and everything that it needs to thrive. But then what happens is we develop these survival patterns of, oh, it's not safe to speak up. It's not safe to be myself. And we cover that diamond and that shine and we wind up dimming our light. So when you shine brightly in your business and you own your pricing, your offers, your messaging, your embodiment of who you are, that is what's most magnetic to your soul client, because they're going to see this person isn't perfect, right? I'm certainly not perfect. Like I was making fun of myself before. I'm like, yeah, I'm not going to look like this probably 3 months from now. And that's okay. Like I own that, and I can, kind of make fun of myself a little bit. And it's in that humanness that people really connect to you. So if you're sitting there saying like, okay, this is all about gut health, and this is, how you increase your immunity for the winter or whatever that might be, that's great. But are you tying yourself into the solution? So we're going to go through some of what this looks like practically and how to optimize your marketing and your selling so that you're actually connecting to your soul client and saying, hey, I can help you accelerate the path to the transformation that you want, whatever that is. If it's their health, for me, I help a lot of business owners get more clients because, again, a lot of these things people don't realize are blocking them. And so we're going to go through some of that in depth here. So again, your energy, it's your survival patterns, your nervous system responses, like I talked about, the overthinking. I know pharmacists tend to go to perfectionism or procrastination because you don't want to make a mistake. You're afraid to fail. All of that is, again, your body trying to protect you. Then there is a deeper layer of undigested trauma where typically it's unconscious. We don't even realize we're just operating with this energy every day. I know this was so true for me, and I have layers of this, of unworthiness that come through every next level that I go at, to in my business. I'm like, oh, there it is again. So again, I have these patterns too, and it's loving yourself through that and doing the inner work to help show your body safety and say, okay, yes, this is unfamiliar on, entrepreneurship, speaking in front of 150 people, which is something I did last month that I had never done before, but I knew how to work with my nervous system and to walk through the fear anyway. So undigested trauma could be shame, guilt, unworthiness, anything that is holding you back, again, from fully self-expressing the brilliance of who you are because of these past experiences that have happened. Like I said, I always use the one of, like even when we're younger, being in elementary school. I've heard this so many times where I know for me, I got bullied in 5th grade because I spoke up in class and I was like, oh, I know the answer. And I'm like this, bright, bubbly little kid. And everybody's like, oh, Miss Know-It-All. Like, they like, I can laugh about it now, but that's what happened. And it's like, oh, I was just trying to like answer the question, but unconsciously we start to dim And it's like, oh, okay, well, that's not safe then because I got made fun of that time. And the brain has the memory of that trauma, that experience where we felt powerless, helpless. There was a feeling of inescapability, which are the components of a trauma. And it shows up in our business today. And it's so unconscious to people. So, what this looks like practically is that if you have unworthiness, you are not going to charge what you're worth. You're going to keep just giving stuff away for free, over delivering, undercharging. You might be afraid to actually lean in a sales conversation. We're going to talk about that too today because you're coming from fear. Like, oh, well, I don't want to be rejected. I don't want to be, you know, I don't want to be rejected by this person. And so there are different levels of energy that we're going to go through today. I'm going to show you what this looks like to stand in your power in a sales conversation. So you're actually leaning in with whoever's in front of you. And it's not your job to convince them or to sell them. You're simply sharing. So I wanted to show you, okay, energetically, if you're holding on to, we're using the example of unworthiness, you're going to be undercharging. Like I said, you'll be afraid to lean in with people in sales conversations. You might play it safe with your messaging or your marketing and never challenge your audience. So you might be like the cheerleader, right? That's like, oh, everything, this is how I'm just trying to pick like something that this is how you lose weight naturally, and all of those things that are more like educating your audience rather than actually leaning in with them, challenging them, and connecting with them. So there's a difference. And again, this is within your energetic body of how you're showing up, because when you're so rooted in your mission and in love and in being of service to someone, that's when you have true courage, conviction, and unshakable confidence in these different aspects of your business. So I'm going to start going through, if you have a pen and paper and you're like me, I like to write things down. So I'm going to share 5 higher perspective shifts here that will help skyrocket your sales. So number 1, we kind of talked about this a little bit before, but your marketing is most magnetic when you are yourself, right? So no one's gonna, if you're putting out there all of this content that's like, everything's perfect and my life is great and I know all these things, people can't connect to that. They can't relate to that. So that's why, like, you'll see, I even had a video of myself on Instagram. My hair was wet. I was in like a kind of a crappy like sweater, and I was just dancing because, like, to me, that is my authentic self. I love to dance. I love to express myself. That's how I get out of rigidity and control, because, like, I'm a pharmacist too. I get into those patterns. So that is something that I was just like, whatever. I don't need to have my hair perfect. I don't need to have XYZ or have the algorithm totally figured out. I just felt like doing it, and I forgot what the post was even about. But it's that type of example that is like, oh my God, that person is so free to be themselves, and it's magnetic. It draws you in. It's like unconsciously giving you permission to come on and like have messy hair and make fun of your, like, who cares? So it's in our humanness that people really connect to us. So if you're finding yourself getting into those perfectionism patterns of like, well, no, it has to be this way and like da 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 da, what is that thing that you can do, that practice? For me, it's dance. What is that for you? I would love to hear it in the chat too. Come on, guys. Like, let's get the comments rolling here. Don't be shy. This is not me talking at you. This is a conversation. I want to be engaging with you here. I see Clarissa loves pea asparagus casserole. Yummy. We'll have to see some pictures of that. So again, right. What is it that gets you out of your head into your body? Could be walking. It could be anything that's going to kind of just get out of that rigidity and control of like, it needs to be a certain way. And your brand should reflect who you are and connect the dots from your soul client to your solution, right? I like to be goofy. I don't know who that is, but I'm with you. Yes. My husband's always like, if people only knew how silly you are, like, I try to be silly as much as possible. I was actually going to come on with like Rudolph antlers today. That's like a side note, but like the more you can keep your business light and fun and not this heavy, like I need to get clients, it allows your energy to open. It allows people to connect with you. You do not have to be perfect to have sales in your business. You don't have to know the exact strategy. I have done launches where I've messed up and I said the wrong thing and I was like, oops, I made a mistake. People still bought. It doesn't matter. So I want to just reassure you that you do not have to be perfect in order to have sales in your business. You are most powerful when you fully own who you are. I said this before, your pricing. I'm going to just say this. I don't care who your business coach is, who you're listening to online. If they're telling you what to price or what to say, question that, because this should come from you. Your pricing, what feels pleasure led to you, your messaging. I always have I'm like, hey, here are some frameworks, here's some like a guide that you can use. I will never tell you your prices. I will never shame you for your prices. I might challenge you and say, hey, $97 for like 2 hours of your time. What do you think about raising that? I'm going to challenge you and lean in with you. I will never tell you what to charge or what to say or how to show up in your business. You do not have to have a business like mine. I want you to be authentic to you. And I think anybody that you hire should want to edify that in you, because there's so much out there that's like, oh, do this, but not this. And it feels very stifling. And so my approach to business is what feels pleasure led to you, what feels good for you to sell, for you to share. And so it allows, even feel that in your body, right? That like, that openness, that relief, rather than very strict, it needs to be this way. You get to be yourself in your business. That's literally what it is. Business is you owning all of these parts of yourself, being goofy, being silly, not having to be perfect. And so that's why you see, I am always sharing ugly self. Like, that's really funny. Oh my God. I don't know who that is. I start my day with an ugly selfie. Competition. Oh my God. Text exchange of funny memes. I love that. Whoever that is. Awesome. So where a lot of people get stuck in this self-expression, think about when you're putting yourself out there on whether it's social media or you're connecting with a client or it's an in-person networking, whatever that is, it's your self-expression, right? That you're showing up and you're saying, this is who I am. This is what I have to offer. These are my programs, packages, whatever that is. And where a lot of people get stuck is some of these more internal things that I was talking about. So blocks. So it could be stifling our self-expression because of, like I said, that those negative experiences that we've had in the past. And oftentimes we don't realize that we carry that energy because your body is holding that cellular memory in your nervous system. And whenever you go to put yourself out there, your nervous system kicks in and there's that fight, flight, freeze response. You find yourself getting tongue tied. And they don't understand why that's happening. It's because there's an undigested part of you, maybe an inner child part, inner teenager. I even had last week, and somebody in my pristine call was talking about their 30-year-old self. These different parts of you that are coming up to be witnessed. And so we want to attune with that part and show it safety, like I was saying before. And there's so many different ways to do that so that you can show up and shine in your business. Another thing where people get stuck with, like marketing and actually fully expressing themselves is like I said before, the nervous system dysregulation. So second guessing yourself, perfectionism, and the idea that you have, say that you get like a divine inspiration, that idea to implementation. I know I've taught this before. that gap can be really wide. So you might have had this idea for a business for 3 years now, but because of all of these protective parts, the survival patterns, the unworthiness, whatever's coming through, it's taken you up until this point here to actually make a decision to implement, to do the damn thing, whatever that is. And again, we're not judging that. We're just being aware of all of the ways that our body tries to protect us. And I've seen this so much with people who have been following me for years, like 2, 3 years. And I continually talk to them and they're like, it's like jump rope, like they're like double dutch. And they're like, all right, I want to jump in. I want to jump in. Yeah, I want to invest with you. And then, but then they pull themselves back and they hide in fear and they protect themselves, which again, I totally honor. But what if it could be easier? What if somebody could help you accelerate the path, which is what you're doing for your clients? So all of these different protective parts, the wounding of, unworthiness or of not feeling good enough and feeling like we have to approve ourselves all the time. Because think about it, we've had to do that pretty much our entire lives through testing, through like getting into pharmacy school, residency, or whatever. If you're not a pharmacist, but you're watching this, all of these experiences that we've had have created this identity of who we think we have to be. And so oftentimes a lot of the work I do is with my clients is releasing the masks of like perfectionism, of people pleasing, of feeling like you have to always be everything to everyone. You don't. We don't even realize that we do this, that we're walking into this networking meeting with these different masks on. I say to people openly, I'm like, yeah, I was homeless. Yes, I've been engaged before. Yes, I've struggled with fertility. And again, this is going to have to be to your comfort level, obviously, because everybody's so different. So it's showing your nervous system that little bit of safety. Like, okay, maybe I'm not going to share my full story in like, just like Christina. Like I kind of just put it all out there on Facebook. I'm like, you're going to know and you're going to know, but that's because I've worked through it and I've integrated it and healed it. So therefore I can share it. So I challenge you in even your messaging. How can you start to show bits of yourself? Be a little bit more vulnerable, because often there's this portrayal that we have on social media of like, everything is great. You guys see it all the time. And then it's how you feel inside, right? There's how you appear on the outside and how you really feel on the inside. And there's that gap that exists. And that gap is the unworthiness, the shame, the undigested emotions that we've experienced that need to be witnessed in order for us to integrate, to show up fully as ourselves. I remembered I had my Elevate retreat years ago, and that was what people really wanted. They were like, I just want to be able to be myself. It wasn't even about the clients or the money or anything else. It was like, that was everybody's genuine desire. They were like, I want to show up to my business as myself. And so this is the work that we do internally, these different, I call it multi-dimensional healing, that will help you to feel rock solid confidence in yourself, in your messaging, in your pricing, no matter what someone else says, because there will be haters. Trust me. My husband does food reviews and like it's the most neutral thing ever, like food. And people say stuff. So what I'm going to channel a little bit of spirituality here, because I know that this is something that is so debilitating for people. You're afraid of criticism, of being rejected, all of these things. And that makes sense too. But when you are rock solid in who you are, for me, my business is not just a business. It is a mission. It is a God-given mission, because years ago, I don't really tell this story much, but I had an eating disorder, a really debilitating eating disorder called night eating syndrome. So if you Google it, it's very rare, but it's this really vicious cycle where I would get up in the middle of the night and binge on really unhealthy food. And then during the day, I was good. right? So it was like my inner child was almost like rebelling at night. And then I was a good girl during the day. So, I was eating salads in front of everybody and like I looked good and all of that. And I said to God, I said, if you heal me of this, I will make it my mission to, I'm going to get emotional, to essentially give my life to you. And so this is why I do what I do. Because I have been through so much pain and so much, just so much of this, right? The vicious cycles of sabotaging myself. I see some hearts. Thank you. I did not expect to cry. But your legacy is your business. And so the energy that you feel and the conviction that you have has to be stronger than anything that anybody says. And it's not that, I've had some experiences where people have said really nasty shit to me. And yes, it absolutely impacts me, but it doesn't stop me. You best believe it's not stopping me, right? So I want to speak to all of these different fears because this is what holds us back from being our true self. But in that moment, I was like, okay, like I got healed through this eating disorder and I am committed. So commitment, conviction, confidence. This is God confidence. It's not Christina. When I show up, this is a mission. And so I want you to feel that level of like, I don't care what barriers are in my way. I don't care what nasty shit people say, right? It's about owning who you are, whatever you believe in God, in source, spirit, the universe, connecting to that part of yourself and surrendering and saying, okay, it's not just me controlling everything in my business. It's a co-creative dance. That's powerful. And when you're rooted in that, when you shut off the world, I did this recently. I was like, I received some feedback that was hard to receive. I shut down, from the world and I just spent time with God. And I said, what is the truth? And when you're anchored in that truth of who you are, you'll be able to hear that quiet voice, your intuition that's going to lead you, right, along this journey. And you get to decide, you get to co-create that with God to bring forth the gifts that you have to share, right? I did not expect to cry today, but thank you for the hearts. I feel some love. But I just believe in this so much that I'm like, literally, people could say whatever. I'm not stopping. Nope. As 50 Cent said, he had a lyric that said, there ain't nothing they can do to stop my shine. This is God's plan, homie. This ain't mine. I know it's like a rap song, but I think of that. So anyway, moving on to point number 2, as I wipe my tears here. So it's so easy to, think that we have to just market behind our computer, right? It's like, oh, social media, I need to just post more, right? But getting your feet on the street and actually challenging yourself to move beyond, I wrote the book, Move Beyond the Counter, move behind the computer, beyond the computer, and get out there into your community. So whether it's going to a chamber of commerce event or, connecting with someone over coffee and giving a free talk or something like that. I want you to open up to how can you get in front of more people in person. When people, I always say this, whenever I connect with, I love, for any of you who have ever been to a retreat of mine, I just love being with people in person. There is nothing like it. So when people feel the frequency of your heart when you're in person and you start connecting and strategically building partnerships with people, like I'm even thinking, we went over this in Pivot to Profit, but your ideal client, we had a graph of, you know, the the people that your ideal client interacts with on a monthly and weekly basis. So you could partner with a chiropractor and say, "Hey, I want to come and do a free talk at your place," right? Because chiropractors are such a great partnership, especially if you're in the healing profession. If you do whatever your niches and within health, healing, pharmacy, functional medicine, put that out there, right? Because create win-win situations where you're bringing people to their office to get to know them a little bit more, and then you're getting exposed to their audience too. So think about I didn't make that term up, but like feet on the street. I always think that's really powerful because there's so much noise on social media. We all know this, right? But how do you start to get in front of people? Again, going back to point number one, being yourself, owning exactly who you are. And when you're anchored in love and service, you're going to have the fear, but your courage is going to be so strong that you're going to be like, okay, I'm scared as hell right now, but I'm going to take this step. And trust me, I've done that so many times, even recently. Like I said, I had a little bit of fear. I walked into that room of 150 people and I was like, oh shit, like, I'm not ready for this. And then I had to go in and do some, like, I went into the bathroom a couple times and I was like, hey, I'm going to do a nervous system exercise. I'm going to do this, do that. There was fear. But the conviction, again, I always pray to God too, even before this Facebook Live. I'm like, please just channel whatever messages need to come through my mouth that you want people to hear. I move my ego to the side. I'm like, whatever needs to be said is going to be channeled here. So you can do that too, even having like some kind of ritual or something that you do before you go into these scary situations. And I recommend just like do the damn thing. Like if you see a networking event, force yourself to like check off and say, yep, I'm going to that, and go just do it, because it's oftentimes, we get in our head, and it's so much easier when you just go, and it's like, oh my God, I was scared for nothing, right? Okay. So point number 3, when you're selling, you're actually being of service. When I say that again, when you're selling, you're actually being of service, because there is a solution that you have for this client. And if you don't share it with them, they're going to go on every single day being in pain in some form, right? It could be physical pain, mental, emotional. They're looking for that solution somewhere, and they need you to step up, to show up and shine in your true essence so that they can actually find you. And when you dial into the messaging specifically that speaks to that, that's when they're going to stop scrolling on Facebook and go, oh, wow. Kelly Frost. Oh, yeah, Kelly Frost is here. Yay, I love it. Yep, I know. And I'm going to an event with Kelly Frost soon. I'm excited for that. I was actually just talking about that this morning. Yeah, so you can, the issue with selling, right, is that we have all of these stories about selling. And oftentimes we're coming at it from scarcity, from shame. I've heard a lot of people say, whenever they go, like, they do this whole launch and they create all of these different like beautiful launch assets, like, hey, come to this free workshop. And then it gets to the point where they have to pitch their program. And it's almost this energy of like, I have this program, but like, it's okay if you can't afford it. Like, there's this like very repelling energy, instead of really standing in selling is being of service. Because if you think about, if you have like a broken coffee pot, I'm just thinking, and or like here, computer, and you know a computer guy, I would be like, yeah, I want to know that I need that because there's a problem. Here's a solution. I need a computer guy. So whatever your soul client's problem is, they need you to accelerate the path for them because you've done all of the things, right? Maybe you've gone through, like conventional medicine as an example, or you've tried certain things in your business or, whatever that could be, and you can help them accelerate the path and make it a lot shorter so that they don't have to keep going through all of that anxiety, all of that pain, the turmoil of whatever that problem is. I know somebody, I think Chana, your sister, you said is a relationship coach. Even somebody like that person is helping. I don't know specifically what they're helping with, but as an example, I'm just thinking of divorce. Someone who's recently gone through a divorce, it's probably really hard and they're looking for support. So the more that you can say, hey, this is what I have, and selling from service, selling from sharing, which we're going to talk about. I'm actually going to pull up a little scale here. If no one knows what you do, you could be the smartest person in the room, but if no one knows what you do because you're afraid to share, or you're like, oh, but like, it's okay if you can't afford it, and you're pushing them away, then you can't really share your gifts. So think of selling as sharing your gifts. And I think of this too. I'm going to be sharing something towards the end of this call. And in my mind, I'm like, I want to help people to show up and shine as themselves, because guess what? If one person on here goes through one of my programs and they start showing up with more confidence, more conviction, being fully embodied in their gifts, imagine the people that they could impact. They could be the one going into that room 6 months from now, impacting 150 people. And I get chills talking about this because we don't realize how our fear can hold us back. But when we are doing some of this inner work, when we strategically and practically say, okay, I want to sell from service. I want to sell through sharing my gifts and really leaning in with this person and holding them in this space, even though they're probably scared to invest as well, in your services or whatever that is, then you're really helping them. And then they can go out and be not enlightened, but like, what am I trying to say? Like, they'll have the transformation and be able to impact the people in their community. So that's where I come from when I'm thinking about selling from soul. I think of, I want to help this person get to that end point where they are so confident in what they do that they're impacting all these different people. And so that one conversation, that one interaction, that one Facebook Live that you're all watching right now could be that door that opens you up into impacting all these people and truly making a difference, as well as income for your business. So that's what really excites me and gets me out of bed in the morning, as corny as it sounds. Okay, so I wanted to just show you quickly. These are the different, I'm going to cover my face. These are the different levels of sales consciousness. So we actually just talked about this in my Pristine program that I did, our sales call that we had, I think it was 2 weeks ago. So you guys have seen, I talk about this all the time, this David Hawkins chart. So we have different emotions, and depending on, I was talking about before, shame, guilt, unworthiness, it drags our energy down. So if you're holding on to a lot of shame, unworthiness, and guilt, then typically you're going to be in these lower states when you're starting to sell. So if you look over here on the right, the inertia state. So if you're selling from this without going from these states, these lower states, without moving through releasing shame, doing some of this inner work, you're going to hear a lot of like, oh yeah, like that sounds great, but like not right now. And because of this, if you're selling from fear and scarcity, this creates negative thinking within yourself, right? A lot of self-criticism, which only precipitates expectations of failure. Like, oh, well, everybody's been saying no. And like, so what's the point? And then people quit their business, right? A lot of this happens. or they get discouraged or whatever might happen. They're not realizing that they're coming from these lower frequencies. And again, this isn't to shame you, it's just to show you what's possible when you do this inner releasing work of showing your body and nervous system safety and stability. There's a difference between saying, I'm just going to move this for a second, between saying to somebody, oh, like, yeah, like if you want, I have this like program that I think might be really helpful for you, versus owning and saying, this is the solution that I have. Based upon what you're saying, I really feel that this would be, my XYZ program would be such a great fit for you. And actually moving through a conversation, a sales conversation, that where you're listening, you're actively listening to what they're saying, you're acknowledging them, you're connecting with them, because that's when you move into some of these higher states here. So if you look, kind of going to this second level of, these are just different energetic states: desire, anger, pride. In this state, you might talk excessively versus listening to them, which can lead to premature closing, or you're pushing too hard and trying to close the sale because, again, you're coming from kind of like maybe trying to prove that you know enough, or that you've done enough, or you're smart enough, whatever, and only focusing on self-gain, right? Like, I just want to close the sale. People can feel that and they resist it. Then at this higher level, this is where I was talking about before, which like really moved me to tears, coming from service. And that, again, you're being of service to this person and you're putting your ego aside. So even if you don't have the solution for them, that's part of the conversation too. Like, hey, that's not really my wheelhouse, but I know someone who can help you. That is power, because you're really being of service to that person versus just looking out for self-gain. So in this state, peaceful, so courage, acceptance, and love, you listen carefully and you're creative. And again, a lot of this comes back to your own nervous system, how you feel within yourself. You hold a positive expectation. The desire is to create a win-win situation. So I've had conversations with people where they were like, hey, I can't afford that. Like, you like, and I'm like, okay, well, let's like look at a payment plan. And that was the thing that really opened the door for them. So thinking of these creative ways that you can work with people versus coming from, again, fear and scarcity of like, oh my God, I don't want to be rejected by this person. What if they say no? Putting that aside and coming from service, so that you are saying, hey, I hear what you're saying, and I'm also going to challenge you, because what would you do if this problem still existed a year from now? And asking them those types of questions, like leaning in with them. I can sense that you're on the fence here and that you really want to move forward. Let's dive into that. What's coming up for you? That's what I say to people. And a lot of times then they feel safe and they open up. And I'm like, hey, I'm just here as like kind of I'm holding space for you. And I want you to tell me the truth. Like, what are the thoughts going through your mind? And if it's not an aligned fit right now, or they need to revisit in the future, okay, like put them on your follow-up list or whatever that might be. Send them a helpful resource. So that was point number 3. So selling is being of service. So going through, I wanted to show you that levels of consciousness scale there. Selling is point number 4. So selling is providing a helpful, valuable solution. This is where diversifying your income, and we did this too in the Pivot to Profit workshop. The pathway to what did I call it? Pathway to purchase. That's what it is. So getting people, onto your path to purchase essentially means maybe they start off at a low tier, like a $47 workshop or something like that. And they get to be in your energy. They get to know you. Wow, she knows so much. You deliver that high value. And then maybe they move up to your mid-tier program, something that's like $97 or above, all the way up to $3,000. I think actually a mid-tier, I qualified as like $197 to like $3,000, right? So you're essentially helping them gain that trust. It's like just like dating, right? You're on a first date, you're not going to marry the person. You're like, "Hey, let me test this out and see if I like the person first." Then, they go to the second, maybe then you get engaged or you move in with them or you get a dog or whatever. That's like your mid-tier offer. And then eventually maybe they become a one-on-one client and they get that intimate access to you. So selling is simply providing that solution, that valuable solution, and being crystal clear on what that is, because we might think that we know what the person wants. Like, I'm just going back to gut health. Oh, yeah, gut health, like da 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 da. But what is that actually translating to in their everyday life? Why should they invest in your services? Because taking care of your gut health is actually going to help you have more energy. It's going to give you more vitality so that when you're playing with your child on the playground, you're not just like exhausted every day and you have the energy to da 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 da, right? So you're translating that into practical, what does this look like in this person's everyday lived experience? It's not just the technical term of what we would say. It's translating that and showing the ripple effects of, this is how taking care of your body is going to help you. This is how showing up and shining in your business is going to explode your income and impact. Because when you do this inner healing work, not only is it helping you, but when you shine and show up as yourself, you're showing your family, your friends, the people at your work what's possible. You're also helping make an impact for that person, whether it's in a group program, a retreat, a one-on-one client, and it's true fulfillment. So it's this beautiful energy of nourishing your soul gifts, being able to serve. They're creating a domino effect in the world of positivity and healing. That's how you really amplify what you do. It's not like, oh, I'm a health coach. There's an expanded version of you that can start to come through when you really own that selling is providing this valuable long-term solution. Okay, so finally, point number 5 is circulating your wealth and giving first. So if you've been on trainings with me before, I always talk about this. Instead of saying, how can I get clients? What can I give? Coming to the equation with how can I serve? How can I give? And this often means investing in yourself before you see the money. I know with me, for the first 7 years of my business, I know like I did different trainings and things like that, but I did not hire a business coach until year 7. And it accelerated my path so much because I was like, I know what I'm doing. Like, da, 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 da. I did not know what I was doing whatsoever. I had a clue, but when you hire somebody who has been there, done that, they know the shortcuts, they know how to help you really take those practical steps too in your business, as an example, then it gets to be so much easier. Rather than, like I said, even before with that launch example, like doing all this work, getting people into a Facebook group, doing a 5-day launch, but then sabotaging yourself. It's that, what is the return on energy? Not only return on investment, the return on your energy. That is why we do this work. That's why you hire coaches, because we oftentimes are not taught this. And we can't see the blind spots that are getting in the way that of how we're sabotaging ourselves. And so a coach can lovingly say, hey, this is what's happening. This is where you're getting stuck. Do this little 1% shift, and this is going to help you. So circulating your wealth, like I said, it could be investing in yourself. It could be doing a giveaway or doing live videos. So I consider like circulating your wealth as it's not just money. It's your knowledge, your experience, your stories. Like I am here open-heartedly circulating my wealth because I want to show up and give and to help you help more people in your business, because that is my mission here. My mission is to be a beacon of the divine. My name is Christina. It's Christ. I remember that every single day. I'm like, how can I be more like Christ? Every day through my business. Who can I help? How can I channel? What can I do so that I am being the embodiment of this mission that was given to me so many years ago? So circulating your wealth, seeing yourself as the channel of wealth, your knowledge, your gifts, your brilliance, your experience, helping someone. It could even be helping someone at Walmart. Like I helped a lady once. Like that to me, you're giving, you're circulating your wealth. She was in a wheelchair, couldn't reach something. I said, hey, here, like, let me grab this for you. It doesn't have to be just in your business. When you come from that frequency, the universe is naturally going to give back to you. And I've seen it every single time. And I've been afraid to invest in myself. I quit my job, my pharmacy job in 2019. You guys know this story. I invested $18,000 and I was scared out of my mind, and I made it back. And I made the most I ever had made up until that point that year. So again, this is just an example of circulating your energy, because money is energy, so that you can get to that next level in your business and collapse that path so you can help more people. So speaking of that, okay, oh my gosh, where did an hour just go? What the hell? Where did an hour just go? Okay. So showing up and serving. So this is exactly what I'm going to be taking you through today. These are the principles that I teach. So like I said, I want to help you impact more people in your community. And so a lot of the work that I do is both the internal work that we talked about. So releasing patterns, people pleasing, perfectionism, regulating your nervous system so that you feel solid and stable when you go to share about your offers, owning your pricing, owning your messaging. Really, it's about that God confidence that's going to come through in your embodiment. And I promise you, when you come from that energy, that's when you're truly of service and people trust you and they say, yes, I want to invest and exchange money to hire you. So I wanted to share something with you today, and I'm just going to share my screen here. So I actually have really exciting news to help you with this. So if you've been watching this entire time and you're like, hell yeah, this is like my jam. This is something that really resonates with me. I would love to be of service to you and help you to strategically scale your business. So what I did, a lot of you know some of these programs already. So I have, for Black Friday, a really kick-ass offer that I'm so excited to share about. And so what I did was I created these on-demand versions of my signature courses. So Pristine is my 10-week course to help you to strategically create these solid business structures to consistently call in clients and cash flow, and then Elevate Entrepreneur, it used to be called. Elevate Healers Academy is my game-changing course to help you monetize your knowledge, turn your gifts to gold. And I'm actually going to take you through the back end. I've never done this before, so hang tight with me, because I actually want to show you everything that's in the back end of these programs. And what I'm offering from now until the 30th of the month, you get 30% off of these courses. And I'll show you how to obtain that coupon code and all of that. So coupon code is SHINE2023, of course. And so I know that a lot of you have asked about these courses before. So this is really great because you get the on-demand version. So it's the kind of the self-paced version of these courses. And there is so much information. Like, even as an example, with Elevate Healers Academy, we have over 40 different trainings from past months. I'm going to take you through that, like I said. But there's so much content and step-by-step action plans that you can implement to help you monetize your knowledge and create irresistible offers, to quickly take your ideas to implementation, magnetically attract your soul clients, confidently communicate and own the value you bring. And again, a lot of my work it's not just strategy, it's very much we go through specific energetic practices as well to help you with all of these things. And then I even have down here, like, because some people might be like, oh, how do I know which one I should do? So the Elevate Healers Academy, I would say, would be the first one to start with. So if you're brand new to business, or if you have an established business for at least 3 to 6 months, if you nailed down your niche, you have a certification, and you're wanting to accelerate the path to full-time entrepreneurship, this is definitely the course. So I'm just going to quickly go over here and show you. There's a lot, but with this offer, I didn't mention this. So you have an entire year to access all of this content. And there's other really juicy bonuses that I'm going to mention in a minute here. So there are all of these foundational trainings, specific practices like EFT that we move through, clearing old energy, even specific business trainings that are in here as well. So there's all these foundational modules that you have that you're going to move through. And all of this is designed to help you elevate your energy. Remember I showed that chart before about, when you're operating from fear, there were like those 3 different sales levels. This is going to help elevate your energy to where you're actually consistently calling in soul clients. So it's a lot of that energetic work, but then as we go down here, you'll see like passive income streams. Like there's a lot of these really strategic business trainings as well, elevating your self-worth, clearing blocks around receiving for your gifts. And then there's even more down here. So you get so much. You get a bunch of bonus business trainings. You get all of our monthly live recordings. So this is from 2022. Money energetics, releasing judgment to amplify your magnetism. What else do we have here? 4 different types of offers. So remember I was talking before about diversifying your offers. I mean, there are just so many. I could just keep going. There's so many amazing trainings here. And then you get a whole other page. So the great thing about this too is you can kind of pick and choose what you want to go through first. So if you're like, hey, I want to rewire my relationship with money, I'm going to that training first. You can literally do whatever, like you don't have to go in order. So you can go through each of these trainings. They're an hour long, these trainings. They're in depth, where I provide specific action steps and action plans with you. Nailing your elevator pitch, huge. And then I even have Katie, my support coach, does some social media calls each month. So how to optimize your social media. So there are tons of things in this. It's just chock full of information. And there's even more here. I didn't even show you guys this. And then there's all of our trainings from 2023. So with this, let me just go down and then I'll go into Pristine. So with this, if you purchase any of these offers from now until the 30th, you're getting over $5,000 in bonuses. So you're getting 30% off either of these courses. I also created special payment plans just for this offer. So you can pay over 6 months. You also are going to get a VIP ticket to, I'm having a Healers in Healthcare conference. It's going to be virtual, obviously, because I'm going to have Lindsay, but in May 2024, you're getting that free. You're not having to pay for anything with that. So you're automatically on the VIP list and you don't have to pay anything. And the first 2 people who buy either of these offers, either Elevate Entrepreneur or Pristine, you get a free VIP one-on-one coaching session with me to map out your profitable business model. This is the best time of year to start doing that, because that way you can kick off 2024 feeling strong, confident. In that VIP session, we'll do energetic work to really help you feel solid and confident in your offers and what you can start selling immediately. We'll map out your profitable business model using my 5 profit pillars. So there's so much we can do in that session. So I just wanted to show you this first and foremost before we go into the Pristine. Okay, so I know a lot of you have been asking questions too about Pristine. So this is my brand new signature course for the entrepreneur ready to create the solid, scalable structure. So with this, we go through 10 weeks of helping you to eventually launch your signature offer. So we strategically go through building your signature methodology that highlights your gifts, brilliance, zone of genius. I take you through exactly step by step how to create a signature offer that you can sell on repeat. that you continue, that you can highlight and sell to to call in a steady stream of clients. We go through magnetic messaging frameworks, scalable processes and systems, and even showing you, I'm actually going to show you the behind the scenes that I never show typically, but it's a pleasure-led step-by-step launch strategy to call in clients for years to come. So imagine that you have this strategy and you have a membership that you want to sell, and the membership is $197 a month for 12 months. Like, this purchasing Pristine is gonna, like, you pay for it pays for itself, right? Because you're gonna have that recurring income from that membership. And say that you sell 5 memberships, imagine how you can scale your business. So this is the last part. I want to just take you through the behind the scenes of Pristine so you can kind of see what this looks like. So with this offer, you won't be getting continuing education just because, like I said, it's the on-demand version. But just wanted to highlight some of the things that you can look forward to. I talked about this before, creating safety in the nervous system, specific exercises that you can do so that when you're on a sales call, you clearly communicate the high value solution that you have, and you're being of service to that person who needs that solution. So as you can see, there's 49 lessons. There's so much here. But again, you have a year to complete this. So you have plenty of time to work through this. And like I said, I know a lot of people ask about, like, oh, well, can I ask questions to me? And that's why I'm having that midpoint check-in in May. So you're going to get to come to the Healers in Healthcare conference in May to literally ask any questions you want. You're going to be part of the Facebook group. So if you say, hey, Christina, I have a question on this curating your profitable business model, you can ask me that. I am fully available to you in May of 2024. So with each of these, we go through specific week by week, curating your profitable business model. I give you specific action steps and a plan in here. There's templates that you can go in and plug and play, specific action steps and takeaways that you're going to have from each lesson. And each lesson builds on the other. So magnetic client attraction, there's so much here. The signature methodology template. I'll probably wind up opening up one of these to just show you. Elevating your boundaries and standards, mastering your sales strategy for consistent referrals. We even go through practicing how to sell in this module, which is really cool. Crafting your magnetic messaging, content creation ideas. I mean, guys, there is just so much value. You guys know how I do it. In every single one of these. So I actually want to show you here. I want to show you the launch. This is I'm really proud of the launch checklist. So a lot of people are always like, oh, launch time, what do I do? Right. Can be overwhelming for some people. So I've actually created a neat way to organize your launch. So literally 4 weeks prior, 3 weeks prior, all of that. So I show you exactly what to do on how to launch in a pleasure-led way. So I'm going to stop actually sharing right now so that I can come back and be with you guys. So I just wanted to show you kind of the back end, because I know I've been sharing about these programs and Elevate Healers Academy and Pristine and all of these, different offers, but I wanted you to see the behind the scenes of exactly what this looks like, because I know I get so many questions about it. So just to go over the offer again. So from now until the 30th, you are able to buy these offers, and I'm going to drop the links in the comments below so that you can get that right away. So if you just type in on the either Elevate Entrepreneur or Pristine, if you type into the checkout coupon code SHINE 2023, it will take that 30% off. You can also choose to have a payment plan, like I said. So if you're like, hey, like I really want to do this now is the time, but you want to pay over time, that's totally fine too. So you can do that. And then you get that free ticket to the virtual Healers in Healthcare, which is going to be amazing. You know how I do it. So even with a child, I'm going to do it. So I'm really excited for that. You'll be able to ask questions. Like I said, you'll be in that Facebook group to have connection with other people, to ask questions. We're going to be going through specific trainings during that time. And then the first two people to purchase either of these Black Friday options, either the Elevate Entrepreneur or Pristine, you get a free VIP one-on-one session to hone in on your messaging, to kick off 2024 feeling confident, energized, excited, and in that unshakable confidence. Like I said, I think that's that's really what we're all looking for. We were looking for that sense of peace, of support. That's what we're looking for in getting more clients, right? We want to have that sense of fulfillment, that we're giving back, that we're being of service. And it's through that inner peace and stability that we are truly unshakable in our mission, in what we're doing. And the fear does not stand a chance. So I would love to hear any comments. You guys stayed on with me the whole time. I didn't expect it to go this long. I honestly had no idea how long I was going to be on here, but I am here for questions. So if you want to type in some questions or comments, I would love to hear them here. And if not, if you're watching the replay, definitely, feel free to write any questions as well. I'm here to be of service, like I said, and circulate my wealth. So yeah, I'm really excited about this, and I'm going to be sharing more. So if you're like, you need to see this visually again, I'm going to be posting a carousel on Instagram about this, so you can kind of take your time and say, okay, like which program makes the most sense for me right now, me and my business. So don't worry about like going back through the video, because I'm going to show you clearly. Actually, I'm going to be reposting this again here. I'll show you guys. So this is what I'm going to be posting on Instagram today. So you'll see this. And again, don't feel like you need to screenshot anything. All of the details are going to be in there. If you go to the link in my bio too, you'll be able to get that, all of this information. So, but yeah, I'm really excited to continue to support you. Let me get out of here. There we go. Okay. Just checking the chat here. Okay. So I want to just thank you for coming on today and for spending time with me. I really value your time. I know that a lot of you are busy entrepreneurs, moms, you have full-time jobs, and I want to just say thank you so much from the bottom of my heart, because I know that you're all busy people out there. So I really cherish this time to connect with you, to share some of my the things that I've learned over the last 11, almost 12 years of being a business owner. So, I don't know who that is, but let's chat. Oh, thank you for whoever is Facebook user. I can't see your name, but if you have questions and you're like, I don't know what to do, just message me. I'm happy to, again, be a non-biased sounding board to just say, hey, like, maybe this is a place to start for you, or if not, I can help you with a resource or whatever that might be. So yes, thank you so much, whoever that is, because you can definitely reach out to me, and I'm happy to be of service to you, to help you decide which, if any, of the programs make the most sense for you in your business right now. So thank you so much. I will circle back to this and see if anybody else has questions. And I really look forward to being of service to you in 2024 and beyond. All right. See you later.